ومحمد وآل محمد صلوات. Our Ma'alim Murtaza Bandali is about to start his exercise. Please come forward and take your position in a chair. Thank you. No, he's ziyarat. He's coming this weekend anyway. 3 weeks ziyarat. He's in Dubai already.
Oh, I see.
Shafiq Dubai, at Madeira.
Assalamu alaikum. We are about to start the breathing exercise. So those of you who are interested, kindly please take a seat. We start normally, karibu taki. We start normally with pranayam yoga. Yoga, there are 2 or 3 types of yoga. Pranayam is the breathing yoga. And there's another one called Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is very aggressive kind of exercise. This is a breathing one. So we start with Anulom Vilom, if you remember. Very good for the heart. You see? Can you see this? Do like this. Press here. Breathe. Hold there. Breathe out here. All right? Now, breathe in from this side. No, hold here, breathe in from this side. Then press here, breathe out from the other side. With force. Hold, block here, breathe out there. Breathe in here, block, out there. Inhale, exhale. Do this every day, at least 10 times in the morning. This is a very good breathing exercise for the lung, for the heart. You see, it's very, very important. Then we do Kapalbhati, where you put your tummy inside and you exhale. You throw out the toxins. Now the last one in this series of pranayam yoga is bumblebee. As I explained to you last time, you block your ears here, all right? Then breathe in deeply, and when you breathe out, make a sound of a bumblebee. Okay, right. Let's do it. Again, breathe in deeply. So everybody, this is a bumblebee exercise. Breathe in. The last one. Also, this is a good exercise for those people who are suffering from catarrh, sinus, or they want to clear their throat. It really helps, you see. Now we do another exercise which is been recommended by Dr. Weil, famous professor. And this is a very good exercise for those people who are tense, who have got anxiety, or who can't sleep. You breathe in at the count of 4, hold your breath at the count of 7, and then breathe out at the count of 8. So to be able to do it effectively, put your hand on your tummy and make sure that when you breathe in, your tummy comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I forgot to tell you, try and put your tongue behind your front teeth. And then you do the shh, shh sound, you see. Again. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we do the normal breathing which they do when they want to meditate. You see, slowly, gradually, no hurry, raise your hand, breathe in deeply, and then breathe out through your mouth, through your nose. This time, this is a different type of breathing. You don't breathe out through your sort of mouth, but to your nose. So, it's very soothing. In the morning, early in the morning, when you're tired, you just do this. And then slowly, very relaxing. Now we do the tapping exercise. This is activating your meridian zone. You activate all your organs of the body, kidney, heart, liver, etc. So you use the tapping with your finger, not your hand. You see? You start with the karate chop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now between your eyebrows here, right? All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now by the side of your ears, by the side of your eyes actually. Now under your eyes. And say to yourself, I am getting better. If you have any pain, you say that pain is gone. That's what they say on the video. Now under your nose. Yeah. And here on the chin, the middle part of your chin here. On your collarbone, just 4 fingers down the collarbone and slightly on the other side. Now under your armpit, but 4 fingers below, and then tap here on the right. Now on the left hand, the left side. And the last one over your head. See? Asante kiwiliwili chako kimetimizwa kabisa yote, everything. All right, now we do the simple, normal exercise stretching. If you could kindly stand up. All right. Hi. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the other way now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now do this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, just like that. Now the other way. Now bring your hand down, stretch your leg, go this way. Now the other leg. Then try and go a bit further down if you can. And again. Good for those people who have sciatica problem, you see. Now, as if you are so tired, what do? You do this way, isn't it? Okay. Right. Now, the other way. This. If you hold your hand here, you'll be able to do a proper swing, see? Now the other way. Good. Okay. Now do this way. You should feel something here. All right. Now the other hand. Good. Now spread your legs. Go the other way. You'll feel something here. Good. Now the other hand, the other side. Now go behind your chair and raise your leg. Just raise your leg like this. This is good balance exercise for those people who have a problem with the balance. Try and raise it as much as possible. All right. The other leg now. Right. Okay. Now spread your hand. Now slowly raise your leg one by one. Slowly. Then, as you do that, try and raise it a little bit further up. And hold it and then bring down. Don't bring down straight away. Now this is very good exercise very good exercise for the elders, like me who have balance problems, you see. All right. Now let's do this way. Raise your heels, your toes, bring down. Now let's sit and then stand. Sit and then stand for about 8 times or so. Try if you can without touching the chair. But if you can't, then you're allowed to touch the chair. See, this is what I would do. Relax first. Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now, I forgot the neck exercise. If you can stand up, please. Turn your neck on the right hand side. Hold it for a bit. Come forward, then left. And come forward, then up, and then down. And then do this circle slowly. If you can't, you'll have a dizziness. All right? Now, do this. Now, tap this on your buttock here, and then on your back here. See how I do it. Up, down, down, up. Swing completely if you can. Good, very good. Hi. Sasa. Just watch me how I do it. Chini, and then you go up. Down and up. Down, up. Down, up. Down, and up. Good. Now this is the last one. Go there, Go down to, on the right hand side and then move on to the left hand side and then back again up. Chini. Good. Now do it the other way. All right. Ahsan. It's good to be out of breath in the morning especially. Ahsan. Same.
When you get up in the morning, you feel tired. Do like this, and then you relax.
Relax, yeah. Very good.
I feel sleepy.
Ahsant, Murtaza, Malim Murtaza. Now I'd like to request our new member of seniors, Shams Jaraj, to come and recite our Quran. Ahsant.
I recite very loud. Keep it far. I'll try.
As loud as much as you want.
You want to only one surah, no? Small. I see. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك إنا شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العظيم العلي العظيم.
Very good.
That's it.
Yes, you do that.
No,
No, 12:30.
I leave this.
Ahsant, Shams, for your nice recitation. We'd like to say Fatiha today for Shabir Suleiman. He's a senior Haidari volunteer, passed away last Wednesday, and Kul Marhumin and Marhum and Marhumin. Salawat. Bismillah. I'd like to invite our next guest speaker today is Malim Aziz Sheikh. Musaddiq Kladi Hassan.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to our new guests. Very happy to see you. Made a couple of self-introductions. Normally in the seniors we have three types of formats when we talk about this, just to for the sake of our new guests here, that we concentrate on the Quran, on religious topics, or on medical or health or life activities. And sometimes we just go out of that boundary. And today I'm going to talk about my experiences as a seasoned traveler. Because if you remember 2 weeks ago, I asked the Mu'mineen here whether they wanted to talk about, listen to a religious point, which is very, very important. the sunnats of Allah, or something like contemporary about vacations and holidays. And the feedback was, let's hear about holidays. Next slide, please. Why do I, and that is a real live tiger in Bangkok. Why do I claim myself to be an experienced traveler? Is that I have, alhamdulillah, visited more than 40 different countries and some 40 towns, cities, villages. And as we say, the world is getting smaller and smaller, and believe me, it is. The vast places that I have gone, I want to highlight, if you see in the red, USA, Maldives, Dubai, Turkey, and Jordan. One thing I want to ask you all to be very positive in not thinking that we are at a certain age and that we are now unable to do things. That is just a mind block. Inshallah, next year, if Allah gives me the life, I'll be 70. But I still feel like I'm 17 years old. As I go along, I will tell you the amount of activities I still love to do. And I have been on holidays where I've seen the Europeans at the age of 70 plus, 80, the eldest at 97 traveling. I've seen ladies of an elderly age traveling alone. They take cruises, they take tours, they go on solo holidays, or they go as couple. Sometimes one of the partner, being a couple, is handicapped or is elderly and is looked after the wife, or vice versa, is looked by the husband. But yet they make it out that they do travel. And our imams have said that travel and you will get the knowledge, you'll see how other people live. There's a lot to cover in the next 40 odd minutes because I will be wanting to open the floor for your questions. But one of the most favorite places I love to go is the States, USA. I've been there about 23 times. Since in the 80s until now, I have traveled intensively. And I'll tell you some of the experiences I've had. First and foremost, as we'll come to the other slides, the first and foremost is our ibadats of ziyarats, Hajj, Umrah, and they should always be number one. As many as a time you can get to go, please get it because that is an invitation. But there are other places that are equally as good in the sense that there's Allah's creation and beauty. And when you see this, it hits you, literally hits you. I'll just very briefly talk to you about the States. I normally fly, for example, into New York. I stay there for 3 days. I do the touristy thing. I go to and wherever I go, I make sure that there's a Husseinia nearby. Because if it's a Thursday night, or a Friday Jum'ah, or Makhsusi Khushali Wafat, I do not tend to miss that. You go into New York, there's so many things you can see. There's the Statue of Liberty, there's Manhattan, there's downtown. There are beautiful places you can walk around on the River Hudson. You take a boat across to the Statue of Liberty. There's a history there. You can climb inside the Statue of Liberty, but don't go during summertime there because the queues are tremendous. 3 hours minimum will take you to climb to the top if you can climb, and then you see the whole Manhattan in front of you. I then take a car and drive up into Canada, and obviously you come to Niagara Falls. It is a magnificent sight. I've seen it in winter time where the snow is knee-deep, and in summertime when the whole falls is lit up in lights, rainbow colors at night. You can even go behind the falls where you get 1 million tons of water cascading per minute. And then you can take a boat ride close the edge of the falls, and you will find that it is so sort of wet and misty that you need a raincoat. The roar of the majestic of the falls reminds you of the power of He who created that. It's a magnificent sight. Not only this waterfall, there are other waterfalls around the world, but I'm keeping to one topic. There's a hotel at Niagara Falls which I would recommend if you are going that way to spend the night. It's an Intercontinental Hotel. Try and go up to the 22nd, 23rd floor. And from your bedroom, there's a veranda. You can actually see the steam of the falls rising. You're sitting there having your kahawa, your tea or snacks or whatever. It's a magnificent sight. These small things which we see, we really have to appreciate it. From Toronto, which is not my favorite city, if you are there meeting people, fine, we come back. I then fly over to LA, Los Angeles. And it's a beautiful coast. From LA, there are sites that you can visit, there are theme parks you can visit, and then you can drive north. And you come to this, what is known as a Sin City, Las Vegas. Is it halal to go there? Is it haram to go there? That is upon your conscience. But let me tell you this. Every hotel is a resort, a unique experience by itself. If you see the lights on that mile in Vegas, you can see the strength, the power, the imagination of us as human beings put into places like that. If you go to Bellagio Hotel, for example, outside you see those fountains lit up, and they sprout the water in different formats, just like the one in Dubai, opposite the Burj Khalifa building. You will see the ingenuity that people put in to get something like that. If you go inside the Bellagio Hotel, it is a world-renowned hotel, or a resort, I should say, for flowers. Every exotic flower that you will think of is probably there. You enter, the smell hits you, beautiful perfume smell, natural smell. And you go to this place where it is dedicated to have flowers displayed. And again, you will find Allah's qudrat in there, that this type of flowers that you wouldn't have imagined, be from a rose, carnation, an orchid, a tulip, and others. And the people around there, they will talk to you about it, where they get it from, why do they fly it in. But obviously, when you go through these places, there is gambling. And Allah is my witness, I've been there about 6 times. Not once have I been tempted to put in one dime, into the slot machine. Because this is our background. The worst thing that we can do in life is to gamble. And next time I talk religious thing, I will tell you how a very close person who was very close to me, making millions per year, started gambling, and within 2-3 years is on the streets. Khair. There's a Venetian hotel there. Anything about Venice, the canals, the shopping, you will find over there. It's a unique place. Have a look at it. Have a good clean niyat, and look at the wonders that you can see. Driving up north, there are 2 magnificent sights that it is unbelievable. You are going towards the Grand Canyon. If Allah was to draw a picture or a postcard and cut it and then put it across, that will give you the imagination of the Grand Canyon, which is about a mile deep. There are pillars coming out, tall pillars, and every type of chemical mineral you can think of is embodied into these columns. You see them and you will think, mashallah, this is the beauty, because what happens is this. In the morning when the sun rises, where the canyon is dark at night, the sunlight hits those canyons, the pillars, the columns, it starts to change color. From black darkness, it goes into yellow, orange, blue, brown, all the 7 colors of the earth, of the nature. You will see this in the Grand Canyon. I remember when I took my marhuma mother there, she sat for 20 minutes looking at the canyon, and I asked her, "Are you all right? Why are you so quiet?" And she says to me that, as I said, if Allah was to paint a picture, cut it and paste it, that is a Grand Canyon. You cannot normally get a hotel. There are only 3 very expensive hotels in Grand Canyon, simply because they are fully booked months in advance. When I first went there, because whenever you drive in America, there are so many motels, you just go to any motel, you check in, they're reasonably priced. So I thought, okay, Grand Canyon, we'll go there, check in. I went there, it was like 1 a.m. in the morning. And the receptionist told me, "Sorry, you can't check in because the hotel is fully booked." I said, "How could that be? You know, this is a Grand Canyon." I said, "There must be some other." They said, "Yeah, there are 2 other hotels, but sorry, you should have booked it in months in advance." So she says to me, "Go to a town, nearest town, which is called Flagstaff, 70 miles away. Plenty of hotels, mostly run by the Hindus over there, and you spend the night in the Flagstaff town, and early in the morning, you drive back to the canyon, because you got to see the canyon as the sun rises." Interesting point is that land, that Grand Canyon, where you got the Colorado River running through, is solely owned and given to the Apache Red Indians. It's their law, it's their rule down there. If they don't like you, and if they do something to you, you got no comeback. So when you are there, and as I was telling you that I couldn't go to the hotel, I said, "What do? I don't want to drive 70 miles to Flagstaff and come back to see the sunrise. That's the whole idea." She says, "Why don't you take your car, go to the rim of the canyon, park there overnight?" I said, "What are you talking about? You know, I've got a family, I've got 2 young children, I've got my wife with me." He says, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just go and check it out." I had no choice. I went. And Mominin, I'm telling you, that was an experience by itself. I had driven for about 11 miles from Mexico and gone through a place called Sedona. Imagine some of the most beautiful. How many of you have been to Petra? You know the Red City?
Jordan, is it?
Yeah. Or have you been to the Colored Canyon in Egypt near Sharm el-Sheikh, about 2 hours drive away? It's a canyon, it's a valley. And I'll show you some photographs. Over there, you will find the water has cascaded through the valley, the canyon, and it's all colors: red, blue, green, brown, dark brown. It's all the beauty of the water cutting into the rocks, into the mountains, making a valley. And you will find these mountains in Sedona, large ones, beautiful. The mud is red. Just like you go to Iceland, you'll find the sand, they're black, and the pebbles black. This is red, blue, red, crimson color.
Like Mogadishu.
Let me just get my slide back. 110786. There. It is a site that one should take time out, go and watch. Now they've built a platform over the rim. Got to be brave, made of glass. You go to the rim and you see, and it's over 600 miles long, the Grand Canyon. It's not small. The other thing that you can do is you take a helicopter ride. It was very expensive. It was like $400 for a 20-minute helicopter ride. The four of us, 2 kids, my wife and myself, $400. And I'm talking at a time when the pound was like 3.5 to 4 to a pound. I said, "Bana, you can't afford that." So I drove down because there's always another means. Go down, there's an airport there, a small airport, the 6-seater, 8-seater plane for $150. And it's a 50-minute ride over the canyon. But don't make the mistake that I made, because I was overnight over the Grand Canyon, spending the whole night. I went in and had a very heavy breakfast. You know, eggs, hash browns, toast, coffee, baked beans, everything you can think of. Well, not everything, not sausages, obviously. And I ate that. Now, I'm a very good flyer, I'm a very good seller, but when you go over the Grand Canyon, because it's a mile deep, you will get air turbulence. So the plane was going that way, and the other second it was that way. Another second it was that way, another second was that. Not all the time, but it was. So you can imagine my breakfast was going up and down at the same time. But it was a beautiful experience. These are the places where one needs to explore and go and appreciate. And it's not as expensive as one can think. One can save quite a bit and do what is really worthwhile. Okay, can I have okay, keep the same slide. I want to talk about Maldives, Dubai, Turkey, and Jordan, but it's going to take a lot of time. I've just come back from Jordan. Jordan is beautiful. You can have 2 things. You can have a very relaxing holiday and at the same time do some ziyarats over there. As you know, Nabi Musa went to Jordan. He went to Maidan, where he met his future wife. He met his father-in-law. They will take you to these places. They will take you to what is known as Mount Musa, where they will show you, indicate to you where he's possibly buried. There is the city of Galilee. There is Israel on one side. Saudi is not too far. And right in the middle is the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea is something which one should visit before it finishes off. Unfortunately, the enemies that we hear about today on the news have actually taken River Jordan from its path, which used to go into the Dead Sea, towards their occupied land. And people in Jordan are very, very upset there. You don't talk about the Israelis to the Jordanese people. There is real hate over there for them. Avoid those things. But the Dead Sea is shrinking. And as you know, there is so much salt over there. I was there 2.5 months ago. Obviously, it's the lowest point in the earth, -0. The mud is very good for your body. You go and put the black mud around you. You sit for half an hour. It sucks some poisons out of you, but be very careful. Because the density of the Dead Sea is so much, it actually pulls you. You just can't walk in, and never, ever dive into the Dead Sea. I'll tell you in a second. The way I entered, I had to sit down and slowly, slowly crawl myself into the Dead Sea. and then laid back. And you float, you can't drown. And it pulls you. And they'll tell you, do not dive, do not get water into your mouth, don't get water into your eyes. So I was there for about 20 minutes or so. The elderly person with me, we always travel together as such. And then we said, okay, let's go and put some mud and sit and get ourselves purified. Now, I was trying to come out, the water density was pulling me, and I slipped. Sasa, Malim nakwambia, I'm telling you, not only water in my eyes, water in my mouth. If you want to test hell on earth, you know what you read the Quran? I tested it. For 45 minutes I couldn't speak. My mouth was burning, literally. It was so much, it's so salty. Those people, alhamdulillah, who were there, the youngsters, they came rushing out. They saw maybe, I said, don't worry, I'm still 17, I'm okay. No, but they came, they brought some milk. He said, drink milk. Milk? I don't drink milk, but you got to, otherwise, And they brought this distilled water, put into my eyes. And alhamdulillah, after 30, 40 minutes, Allah's blessing, I was able to see my wife once again. Be very careful. But it is good to see. So you go there, you will see where Nabi Musa took the Palestinians, the Jews rather, the Jews out of Pharaoh's enslavement, and the way they went, what places they went, how Nabi Musa fled Pharaoh, he came to Madain. But the beauty, one of the beauty is amazing. Jafar Tayyar, Imam Ali's brother, as you know, he was told by Rasulullah to leave Makkah and go to Abyssinia, Ethiopia, as we know now. And there's the first migration ever. Jafar Tayyar was a very brave warrior, but he was martyred in Jordan. There is a zari in his name, a mosque in his name, looked after by the Jordanians, and it is I hope I've got the slide there, it's a beautiful zari. And just like when we go for our ziyarats, on the wall there is the ziyarat to our imams of our Anbiya Muslimin. There's a whole ziyarat of Jafar Tayyar, written in Arabic, selling salutations to him, being the martyred, and also that Allah has given him wings to fly. All this is there in the masajid in Jordan. And there are areas you can go, you can see that there is so much history, but at the same time you can relax. Turkey, I will talk to you in a while. I'll have to leave Dubai and Maldives. Can I have next slide, please? What type of vacations do we go on holidays normally? One is we like to go back to our homeland. Maybe East Africa, Zanzibar, Mombasa, Tanga, wherever we have come from, because we have got ties, we've got families, we've got friends. And also, as I said, ziyarah trips is something which we have to plan, as much as we can. Second thing is we need to go to our homeland because our marhumins are buried there. We have got to remember them. These are our ties. And relaxing holidays. Now, what I mean by relaxing holidays is that you book yourself a nice cruise, or you book yourself a hotel. And I always say that rather than paying high prices for hotel, get condominiums or apartments. You will save a lot of money that way. When I was in Las Vegas, I'll be honest, I went to some very high expensive hotels, paying about $800, $900 a night. And my wife said, Musaddiq, why? We're out all day, we are traveling, we are visiting, we just come home and sleep in the room. Why do you want to, spend so much? Why don't we just get an apartment? And there are lots of apartments. You just have to Google a bit, and you pay $80 a night for 4 people. And the only other thing is, because you go out, sometimes you feel like being extravagant, Allahu Alam, there is sunken baths in your room or jacuzzi and all that. These are the extras you pay for. But sometimes I feel that maybe a little bit to experience and fulfill my negativity of something, I do that. But always try and get apartments on that. And then you can go and sit on the beach, you walk on the beach, there's a promenades over there. But always try and take somebody else. If you're a large family, good. But as a couple, I would strongly advise have another couple to go around with, because it saves you the money. I'll come to that in a while. Exploring. Don't just be tunnel vision that I want to go to East Africa, I want to go to Pakistan and all that. There are so many beautiful places to go. I've been to Bali, I've been to Australia, Tasmania, I said America. You go off the beaten track, plan your journey and see beautiful sceneries, beautiful falls, mountains, cable cars. And there are those things that you would also appreciate in the town itself, because they have built it. And you will find that there is, for example, in Singapore, a whole nature reserve, a huge, huge building of natural plants and an inside waterfall. And you can go right up on top. And as you're watching that, you will find cacti plants around, gardens galore. You see that, So explore. And then what I want to put across is you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of pounds. When we come to budget holidays, trips and tours, you can do it for a fraction of what one would think about. Can I have next slide, please? Just a few tips. From the time you get to the airport and you come back, always be polite. You'll be amazed what politeness or a bit of humor can take you. I have been upgraded from an economy class to a first class just by going to the counter and saying to the person, "Hi, good morning, how are you? I hope you had, if it was an early flight, 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 in the morning, I hope you had a good rest." And they smiled and they said, "Okay." And then if you have got not a very good seat, I said, "Would you please put us together? There are 4 of us, 6 of us, give me a window seat." And they go out of their way just because you are polite to them. You go to a hotel. I went to New York, and it was a very warm, sunny time. I was in my t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. Dark as I am, I went there to Waldorf Hotel. Now, Waldorf Hotel, as you know, is one of the top hotels, and the presidents of US normally stay there. But I was lucky, I had a very nice discounted bargain. I took advantage of that. It's in Manhattan, downtown. Went there, there was a huge queue. By the time I got to the reception, they said, "Look, very sorry, the main rooms in the main hotel are fully booked, right? You got it from the internet. Would you mind going to the annex? It's a bit of more modern building." I said, "I don't mind." I went there. I was given a smoking room, which I had specified I want non-smoking room. It was like on the 7th, 8th floor. So I went to the reception, the local one. There was a youngster, 19, 20 years old. And he saw me in a t-shirt, shorts, flip-flops, dark. He thought I was a Mexican guy. And I said, "Excuse me, I forwent the main hotel. I've come to the annex, which I don't mind. I don't expect this type of treatment." He says, "No, we are fully booked, this, that, the other." I said, "Can I speak to your supervisor?" Supervisor came, and I said, "Look, this is what happened. I've booked the main hotel. I've been asked to come here, fine, but not in a smoking room. right? It gives me headache, it's smelly, and not on the 7th, 8th floor. I said, don't think that I'm a Mexican or from somebody from the third world. I've come to Dubai, I stay in Burj Khalifa and those places. I try not to be sort of boastful, but I said, look, you know, I'm from England, and I do travel a lot. And I do stay in England. He said, sir, I'm so sorry. There's a mistake. Very polite. And I was polite to him. He said, would you mind going back to the room? And I'll see you in 5, 10 minutes. Within 5 minutes, he came, knocked at the door. He said, sir, I've got a room for you. I said, okay. Believe you me, he took me on the 23rd floor. The door to that suite was twice my height, 2.5. Pure oak, black, opened it. I walk in. It's a suite, black marble, the walls with crystal glasses, both sides. You walk there, beautiful Egyptian-led furniture, a huge glass cut in the wall, and you can see Manhattan City, the lights, the tall buildings outside, 2 master bedrooms with en suites, $3,500 per night for that suite. I got it for $200. And he said, sir, how long are you staying? I said, I'm here only for 1 night because I'm driving out to Toronto. So he said, sir, if you're going to stay here for 3 days, I would put this house, this suite on complimentary. Again, politeness. Another thing I would say, go to any of the hotels. You go to Egypt, to Turkey, anywhere you go. Take some chocolates with you. You talk to the receptionist very nicely. Assalamu alaikum. If he like Muslim, كيف حالك كله خير. Say, لغة عربية. شويش. Little. No. Now you already got a bond. And I always do this, and it works. I said, I've reserved a room with a jacuzzi or a swimming pool. And for 1 second, they're taken aback. What? We don't have. I said, I'm joking. But what I'm asking you, if it's not too full up, would you mind give me a free upgrade, complimentary upgrade? And I said, I'll take care of you. Because they expect tips. They get very little salary, and they expect tips. And you tell them that, look, I look after you. 8 out of 9 times, you are upgraded to a suite or a swimming pool, or mostly I prefer over the sea. And it's a beautiful time. And then you go and say, you got children? Yeah. A couple of bars of, Cadbury chocolate or something. And you will find that people appreciate. You're not bribing, you're just appreciating because the service you get after that in restaurants, in receptionists is unbelievable. So always be polite, joke ask about their comfort, ask for upgrades and discounts. In America, everybody over 55 gets a discount. If you travel on a cruise, tell them I'm 55 plus, you will get a discount. You go to restaurants, you say I'm 55. You don't have to prove or show ID, you get discounts. You go to any of the excursions, you say I'm over 55, you get discounts. And they are good discounts, and they look after you. Always book in advance. Especially with the budget flights. Don't wait until lastminute.com or I'll do it at the airport. No. You will get not good seats. You'll have to wait in the queue. Earlier you book, especially car park, you will get discounts. 31st of October, I'm going to Turkey for 2 weeks. Although I'm not taking a car, but had I booked 4 or 5 months in advance, it would have cost me 55, 60 pounds. Now it's 92 pounds to park, if I go park now. And always, when you're booking any place, check out the reviews about the hotels, about the service. There's so many reviews. Some will be good, 1 or 2 will always be negative. But overall, find out what it is. And as I said, tips and gifts. One thing I want to say is because I cruise a lot, I go on cruises, they try and take advance tips from you for the staff, especially on Queen Elizabeth, or if you go on celebrity cruises, they will either ask you to pay for the gratuities beforehand, or at the end when they give you a bill, you'll find $300, $400, $500, $600 added, depending on the length of your trip. What you need to do, as I said, you got to tip people because they expect it and they'll give you good service. And let them know that you will take care of them, is you go to the purser as you enter the next day and you tell them politely, I'd like to remove myself from the gratuities. I don't want to pay the tips in advance, at the end. I will take care of the people myself. Next slide, please. No. Next slide. I've covered that. Okay. As I said, cruises, there's some wonderful cruises. Celebrity cruises, cruise.co.uk. My favorite is Cunard. They've got 4 ships. One is coming out next year, Queen Anne. The beauty about the cruise is, one thing, you must go on a diet at least 3 months before. Chakula 24/7, and you just have to pick up the phone to get free room service. I prefer to go on Cunard because of the service they give you and the amount of variety you have. You go on these cruises, and as I said, 24/7 is your food, but book in advance, 3 months, 4 months, because you've got to order your halal food in advance. You can't leave it to lastminute.com. On these ships, you will find a lot of Pakistanis and Indians, Bengalis, Tamils working in the restaurant. I like Cunard. It's expensive. You pay $200 extra, you pay $300, but you are guaranteed halal food at the end. Another thing is when you book, you say you want a separate table. They'll give you, if you are a husband and wife, or 4 people, you have a separate table, because otherwise they'll bunch you with other people, and obviously the English people will have wine and alcohol on the table, which Ayatollah Sistani or the Maharajas prohibit you sitting. So ask for your table, and you will make friends. Part of me, when I'm on cruises or holidays, I'm always joking, I'm laughing, I'm making, this, that, the other. And so, you become friends so much that even after the cruises, I was in Sydney, there was this English couple, they took us to their houses, they took us out for breakfast, and there was dinner, You make friends, and that's the whole idea. And until now, we are in touch. So, when you go halal food, order in advance. When you go upstairs on the buffet, you will find a variety of vegetarian stuff, 24/7 coffee, milk, ice cream, puddings, you name it. And it's great. Breakfast, full breakfast, and I mean full English breakfast. Okay, you've just had that. You come out, 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're up on your promenade, or you're swimming, you're up there and in the sun, or you're playing games, or you're walking. 11 is beef burgers, which are not halal on Cunard. Vegetarian, Mexican food, Italian food, eggs, hash browns, 11:30. 12:30, lunch opens. Again, you go to buffet style. You go this, fill up your plate, sit on a table next to the window, see this other ships passing by, you have lunch. 3:30, and this is my favorite, I'm sorry to say that, I go downstairs, there is tea time and English time. What do you get? You get white glove service. What this means, beautifully elegant waiter, waitresses coming to you, white gloves, and they serve you those, Queen Elizabeth type of sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, cakes, and my favorite, scones, hot scones with clotted cream, jam, butter, coffee, tea, biscuits, sweets, every day, 3:30 to 4:30. There's a queue there, you go and sit there every day. And then you can have the stomach of those cooler fires by the time you finish. So this is 3:30, 4:30. 6 o'clock, then you go upstairs. You got ice creams, coffee, this, that. 6:30, the first sitting starts for dinner. 8:30 is the second one, all right? After dinner, there's always a show. I'm not saying, it's up to you. You want to go and see the show? There's some good acrobats. There's some good stuff. There's bad stuff. Allahu Alam, it's up to you. Big theater, very nice theater. You go in there, see your show, or not to go to the show. Go upstairs 11 o'clock at night. Hi. Hot chocolate, coffee, cakes, pies, pizzas, cheese, sandwiches, there. And don't forget, you have to just pick up the phone and room service, order anything, free of charge. So this is a relaxing holiday. And when you get off, never book any excursions on the ship. It's 2-3 times. Book in advance. You know you're going to go 10 places, 12 places. Normally you go out from Southampton, you will go to Portugal, right? Lisbon. You'll go to Italy. You'll go to north of Morocco. You can go to Fez. You'll go to Rome. And the ships stay there for 8 hours, 6 hours, 10, 12 hours, hardly overnight. So you are in and out, okay, for excursions. Even if you go to Lisbon, for example, we took an open bus ride around the town. We saw stop of the market, had something to eat, browsed. Wife bought some scarves, this, that, the other. You buy some souvenirs, and you come. It's fine. You relax. All you need to know is when you come out, you may need a wheelbarrow for somebody to push you out of the ship. You are quite fat. All right. Beaches and resorts, local seaside towns. England also has got beautiful places. You go to Aviemore up in Scotland. You go to Ben Nevis. You go to Cornwall. There are good apartments there. You can be local. Go out. I remember just 2 weeks ago in Orlando, where you go to Hussainiya, the youngsters, the families, went and hired a hotel in Daytona Beach. So they all went. And they had great fun as families, as a community, all under the Sharia. And there was a beach, they had barbecues, they had food, and all that. So we should also do that, because going out as a community builds the unity of the community. And the youngsters love it. And there is a bond built up very quickly. Hiking, camping, caravans. You don't have to spend hundreds of pounds to go to a hotel. You go to Aviemore, which is in Scotland, just underneath Ben Nevis mountain. There are beautiful caravans, 80 pounds, 90 pounds for a family 4, 6. You can stay there for 3 nights, 4 nights, and you relax. Next slide, please. I've already spoken about this. Next slide. All right. This is the main crux. You can spend 5, 6, 7,000 pounds as much. One of my dreams is to go on a world cruise, 90 days on Cunard. Wife is saying no. But beside that point. So how come I can go on budget holidays? These are some of the 4 companies online that you can do. Subscribe to them. Send them an email, and you will get in your email their brochures, their discount prices. And I'll tell you about RSD Travel, because I've been talking to a lot of people here. Voyage Privé is a French company, beautiful support and good holidays, but they're slightly expensive. You can go to Maldives, you can go to Jordan, you can go to Egypt, you can go to so many places, and they give you a good service. But if you go to RSD Travel, the same holiday will save you 300-400 pounds at times. Love Holidays Travel, for example, if you go to Hurghada, if you go to Hurghada, for example, you can go there with a Nile cruise for 2 weeks, 1 week in a 5-4-star hotel, all inclusive. And the second one and then the second week you go on the River Nile. tour from Luxor all the way to Abu Simbel, which is the southern part of Egypt. And you got the Pharaoh's carving in the mountain. I'll talk to you with that. For guess how much? 2 weeks, all-inclusive flights, your luggage, all-inclusive 4-5-star hotel, a week on River Nile, going from Luxor all the way to Abu Simbel. How much do you think you would pay for that? Huh? You know that, $499. If you go the first week of December, but then if you go in January, the price do fluctuate. Book in advance. Love holidays, as I said, you can go to Sharm el-Sheikh now, and the next month for under £500, all-inclusive flighting. And Sharm, I'm telling you, I wish I had more time to talk about. Jetline holidays, another good holiday. Jordan, Egypt, Cairo are at cut prices. You know, like Anwar said, $499. And holiday pirates. Holiday pirates only today. If you go to Santorini, you know Santorini. You got those blue rooftops and white buildings, beautiful sunset, history. £400. It's quite expensive over there to go. Next slide, please. Okay. This is what I'm going to talk about. What time have I got? I got 20 minutes. Okay. This is RSD Travel, one of my favorite budget, but fully supported and fantastic holiday. Next slide. Can you go back one slide, please? I just want to say something. It's a member's login, but you don't pay anything to become a member. As long as you're over 18, you just put in the member's login, RSD 2023. Next year will be 2024. The year after will be 2025. Okay? You log in. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. So you go into the site, you type in RSD 2023, login, and instead of, for example, paying for all this £1,250, you pay £250. Now I've traveled with them for the last 4 odd years, 5 different places. You can go into the menu, and then you can either choose Europe, Asia, Africa. Africa is South Africa. And just before COVID, and on this one, you'll be amazed at the price. You fly on Emirates, you go to Joburg, you spend 8 days or so there. They'll take you to Safari Park, they'll take you to the Tabletop Mountain, and it's good. They also gave us 3 days in Dubai free of charge in a 4-star hotel. But that has been taken off because of the expenses of flying nowadays. Okay? So Asia is India also. There it is. 14 days, 4-star cultural tour. Return flights to Delhi. 12 nights in a double room in a selected 4-star hotels. 12 tasty breakfasts. Fantastic. You go to Rajasthan, all of Rajasthan. You go to Agra, you see the Taj Mahal, full of history, good hotels. And when I say hotels, they're not hotels, they are ex-palaces. £1,900 is a normal minimum, £1,000. It's all guaranteed per person. Per person. This is all per person. This is one of the most beautiful, fantastic holidays I've ever had last year. Cappadocia, 15 days. Flights to and from Antalya, 7 days. Now this, you go, at the moment you enter Antalya, at the airport you come out, there's a luxury air-conditioned coach with an English-speaking guide. Okay? He'll meet you, there'll be other people with you, get it on the coach, they'll take you to the hotel. It's Turkey. But I wish I had time to show you all the photographs. Anyway, you go there, in the hotel, you spend the night, early morning breakfast, 9 o'clock, you're outside. Punctuality is there. They don't wait for you. You're on the coach, and they start taking you around. And I'll show you where. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is the other places. I've canceled out Israel at the moment. But you still pay 1,500, you pay 1,100, you do the culture of Israel. Kingdom of Jordan, I've spoken to Jordan a bit about that. 1,700 pounds, you would normally pay 1,000 pounds. Croatia and Montenegro, as you know, those of us who have been there, fantastic site, you know. Instead of paying 1,250, 250 pounds. Dubai, luxury holiday for 8 days, 700 pounds. Everything is including with Emirates flight. You know, Dubai is because of fantastic hotels. Kingdom of Jordan, 8 days. Next slide, please. This is the one I'm going to go, Lycia, 15 days. Instead of paying 1,200 pounds, I actually paid 250 pounds, but they removed the 50 pounds airport tax, and I was so cheesed off. Because I've now lost 100 pounds. I rang them up. I said, look, I'm a citizen. He said, if you go to a sale shop and you buy something for 80 pounds and next time, you know, you ask for a discount, you won't get it. Okay? This is Greece. Okay, next slide, please. And then they give you, this is, for example, the trip I did last year, Cappadocia. You fly into Antalya, they take you to Konya, for example. Konya is the burial place of Rumi. Huge mausoleum, his huge grave, mosque, nice sight to see. Go and see how it is. Although I don't believe in Rumi because I think he was very anti-Ahlul Bayt, but he's a father of Sufism. This is the site from the hotel which you were staying in. Okay. Underground cities have been built. The Jews were persecuted by the Christians, and they actually went underground for 600 years. And they had everything. They had farm, horses, jeep. Ha! You should have stayed there. I love that. I love that. Hi, next slide, please. These are natural funnels, like fairy tales. They come out of the ground. And they're all different shapes. And you just can't get enough of it. You go around walking, you see the beauty of Allah, and you wonder how these things were shaped. Millions of years ago, there's water cascading through the mountains, and it cut all these wonderful shapes. This is where the underground cities is. There are graveyards, there are stables, there's farms they were doing, huge blockade so that enemies wouldn't come in. There's a waterfall opposite our hotel we stayed. The next slide, please. Next slide. And this is, return flights. And it's always, if you go to Turkey, it's Turkey Airlines. It's one of the subsidiaries. Okay, so it's a good flight. As I said, flights included, double rooms in 4 or 5-star hotels. It's not 4 or 5. It's 3-star the first week. Range all these excursions, which is World Heritage monuments, underground city, historic Silk Road, waterfalls, Konya, Valley of Love, Antalya. And then the second week, and this is important, they put you in a 5-star, and I mean 5-star hotel, free of charge. You're paying what, 200 pounds, 250 pounds, and you are on a beautiful hotel next to a beach and sea. I'm not kidding, minimum of 40 different dishes for breakfast. You name it, it's there. And it is 5-star. 5 swimming pools. Mandazi well, Pata. But you get something equivalent. It's very sweet. Right? So instead of paying 1,250, they discount the price, 1,000, and most of them are seniors. £250 you pay. And it was one of the best holidays I did last year. Next slide, please. So you go to the next page, then you choose where you want to go. If you go during summertime, obviously you pay extra because there are a lot of people going from Europe. Lots of Germans, lots of Swiss people, they come, you'll find. And there are times, because to be honest, I like to go in hotels where there's jacuzzi, hammam, they give you the full body works. In the evening after my trip, I like to go into the sauna. But you have to be careful. Some of the hotels, they are segregated. Men one side, women other side. Okay? So when you go in summertime, you may have to pay maybe up to £180. Or September is very expensive because there's the whole, just past holiday season, couples tend to go because children in schools and universities. So you choose where you want to go from Birmingham Airport, Manchester, or normally from Gatwick. You choose what you want. I chose, say, for example, Birmingham is closer to me from Milton Keynes. You fly out on Tuesday, 27th of February, come back in March, just before my Ramadan. Flight, hotel, everything, all those £250, £35 for airport fee, £285. And this is genuine, genuine, genuine. I don't get any commission though. Next slide, please. Jetline holidays, I said, Nile cruise for $4.99, 2nd or 3rd of December. Resort, you can see on the beach, and the cruise is on Presidential Commodore, which I went last December. A nice cruise boat. Again, it's all inclusive, yeah? $4.99. Next slide. That's the ship, we were on that. And I was saying, from Gatwick, if you go on the 4th, 9th, it's $4.99. These are this November, December, January, February. And it's cool. It's not hot, but December is November, December, nice, really nice weather. Just in the jacket in the evening. During the daytime is fine. $4.99, $5.29, $5.69 per person. Next slide, please. I'm coming to the end now. Like I always say, ziyarat is important. Okay? Just a few, now 5 more minutes, I'm going to finish. Always start off with going as many ziyarats as you can. I travel 6 times a year. 2 is for ziyarat. Arba'in, always in Sham, because a lot of people have now deserted Bibi Zainab. They all go to Najaf for the walk. Hey, nice. But don't forget, when I used to go to Sham, and as you used to go, you remember, you couldn't even stand the Azadari that was taking place in the Sahan of Bibi Zainab. All the big reciters, all the wonderful Nawah Khans, you name them, Shaib al-Stani, everybody, Mir, they were there. Now everybody is Karbala. Fine. Everything is important, but don't forget Bibi Zainab. Because from Sham, go to Beirut. Amazing. I was just talking to a couple of people before that. There is Imam Hussein's daughter, Bibi Khwaila there. The people in Beirut, when you go to the Hezbollah's area, the Shias, the programs are just like ours. I went to the Husseiniya. I cried, literally. There was a majlis in Arabic. The khatib was reciting so beautiful about the fadail, because people had come from just after Arba'in. Duwai Kumel, Ziyat Warisa. And they love you having there. Beautiful restaurants, Lebanese food is good. But when I was sitting there were people like us, elders, 60, 65, 70, they had a pistol. And at times, I wish I had more time to tell you, I actually met a family, the youngsters would go over to the border with their guns every Friday, some other time. So this is Samara. And believe you me, I'm not kidding, I'm in the Hussainiya, I remember everybody. My first thought is the love of the unity of, and this is the shrine of our Imams. Next slide. This was a couple of years ago during Arba'in, between Hazrat Abbas's and Imam Hussein's shrine. You know, when we walk, the Paradise Walk, this was a tribute to Bibi Fatima. The whole history of hers was displayed. Her house, you know, the chakki and all that. Beautiful. Next slide. As I was saying, don't bother sometimes paying high prices for hotels. Apartments are good. And this is the type of apartments I go. You know, you can see the tables already laid. I always try and find a jacuzzi up in the back. Yeah? A nice patio, you can sit and have your meals. Next slide. This is Daytona Beach. This is my grandson. As I was saying, the people from Orlando love to go to Daytona. Beautiful seas. I love to surf. And these waves are quite high. Once I misjudged the surf, it hit me, threw me on the sand, and all my skin was bleeding. But that's one of the things. Next slide. Walt Disney World in Orlando, my favorite. I go there often. I go to Universal Studios, those rides, huge rides. I love them even now. Take your grandchildren with you, take your children with you, go as a family unit, go as friends, and you will find that it is beautiful bonding time, and you will find the millions and millions of technology they've put into Epcot Center, Disney World, Universal Studios. It's worthwhile seeing. In Orlando, my favorite time to do in the evening, I take my family out, I go to Universal Studios, there's a city walk. It's buzzing, it's alive. There are coffee shops there, you sit, there's a small lake, well, actually a large lake, you sit up there and it's great. There's a beautiful cinema, but I'm not going to talk about that. Next slide. This was me in India. One of the most beautiful 21 days. I had my own car, driver. Me and my wife had gone 21 days, all of Rajasthan, Agra, from Delhi. You won't believe it cost me 700 pounds for the two of us. That's all. I took, I don't know, it was 5,000 rupees or something at the time, 3-4 years ago. I couldn't even spend that money. And the hotels we were staying at night was ex-palaces. Next slide. Kashmir. End of March, it's still snowing over there. But it wasn't too bad. One part was the snow, and I love horse riding. So I took a horse, went to ride Gulmarg mountain. You know, really big. And you go up there. Most of the Bollywood movies are shot here. You know, the old ones. They are shot in this area when in summertime, or in wintertime also. Next slide. Maldives. Deep sea diving. I love to go deep sea. So I am deep sea diving. I'm at 13 meters. I tell my dive supervisor that I need to go a bit lower. He says, no, because the other people were not. I said, I'm going, you know. So I said, I'm okay. So I go another 3-4 meters down. And this is true. I'm 13, I go about 17, 18 meters down. Around the corner, guess what? 6 brown sharks are coming through. And I'm saying, Jaws, dadan comes to my mind. 6 sharks round the corner. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Ali Waliullah, all in my mind is going, you know. Anyway, I come back up, you know. He says, you okay? I said, I'm fine. Afterwards, I went up. I said, guess what? I saw 6 brown sharks. I said, don't worry about that. They're all Buddhist sharks. They don't eat meat. honestly. Next slide. Rome, beautiful. This is the gladiators, the Colosseum, and it's worthwhile going there. Opposite is the Senate where Julius Caesar was stabbed. Got to go and see these places. So how much can I talk? Next slide. Iceland. Near the airport, there is a factory, and they have this lake, the water coming out, full of beautiful minerals which are good for your body. It was actually snowing, but I was so warm, right? Snow, and I'm like 40 degrees, 50 degrees in the water. I didn't even want to come out. 10 minutes from Iceland airport, Reykjavik. Next slide. Food on the ship. I'm a bit unhappy because and it's all halal, my ribs over there was a bit not very chewable way, so I got another one. Next slide. Tunisia. If I see water, halas, I'm there, swimming over there. So what happened here was I was right on top there, and I was looking down, and I said, it's about 14 feet. I'm not going to dive. This guy, when he comes from behind, he pushes me. And I'm down. And then I said, okay. So I'm here swimming. So there's so much you can do when you go to Middle East. Go there. Enjoy it. Take a family, friends. Next slide. Paragliding. I haven't even spoken about Bahamas. When you go to Orlando, go on a trip on Carnival cruises to Bahamas. You can do paragliding over there. You can do the sea, what you call skiing over there. Next slide. Next slide. Maldives. And again, I was polite. I reached the island. I went, there's these people, they come and greet you. There's a young lady. Again, hi, how are you? She says, welcome. I said, look, first time in your country. I want something special from you. I said, I want one of those huts over the water. He says, sir, that's very expensive, I said, but look at me, nice, young, charming guy, why don't you do a favor? He says, sir, that is a bit expensive, but I tell you what, I'll give you a special bungalow with a jacuzzi. Now, Maldives is a small island, there's not much to do. You walk around, restaurants, all inclusive, sit on the beach, go swimming, in the evening, relax in the hot tub. Next slide. Taj Mahal again. Next slide. Bangkok. Hundreds of what you call temples. I'm being told, cut it down. Okay. Next slide. On the Cunard, you go to dress up for 2 evenings to go into the restaurant. It's a theme night. Next slide. This is one of the levels in the ship because it was Christmas time, all decorated, quite casual, after lunch. Next slide. As I said, vegetarian food amassed there on Queen Elizabeth. There's a Shia cook, my own cook, I made friends with him. Next slide. Petra, the Red City, Jordan, again, beautiful. I don't have time. Next slide. Okay, I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio, but I do like to do silly things at times. So we are going on the boat, I'm up there, just to show you that there's another side of me also. Okay, next slide. Pyramids, khalas. Next slide. Norway, fjords, can't talk now. Next slide. Next slide. I wish I could talk to you about this Imam Ali allegiance. Okay, next slide. Jesus in Iceland. Next slide. My dinner on the ship. Next slide. Balloon ride in Luxor. Can't talk about it, no time. Next slide. That's our ship, Queen Victoria. Next slide. This is in fjords. Singapore, I was telling you about the natural. Next slide. Rome in the church. Next slide. Dolphins in seaside in Maldives. Next slide. This was our bungalow, private beach. Next slide. Food, restaurant, Maldives. Next slide. The boat to Maldives. Next slide. Coming to the end. Bali again. Next slide. East Africa. Safari. Okay, that's it. Okay. There's 2 more, but it's okay. I don't have time. Very quickly, 5 minutes questions. No, because we just in this. Oh, okay, sorry. You can come talk to me. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Very fast.
Thank you again, Musaddiq. That was very informational and we enjoyed. We have Shams Jaraj here, our new member for the seniors, for Surah Yasin. Sent.
I got my hands trembling. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع ذكر وخشى الرحمن بالغيب فبشر بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاء المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم 2 فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم ولمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يرد الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون
إني ظن في ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاع إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعما إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في السور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أحد إليكم يا بني آدم أن لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد ضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكس في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يوحي الذي أنشاها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم سورة المباركة الفاتحة الحمد لله رب العالمين مالك يوم الدين
السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين وسيد الوصيين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذرية الحسين
ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن عجل الله فرجه وسهل الله مخرجه وظهوره ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.